Hello everybody and welcome to What About the Game. Today I'm going to be talking about Dementium Remastered on the 3DS. So as you may have gathered from the title, it's a remastering of Dementium, which was on the original DS in 2007, at least in America. We Europeans didn't get it until a couple of years later. Anyways, the developers Renegade Kid, famous for their work on the eShop, have decided to give their old game a little polish and some tweaks and release it for the 3DS eShop. Now, I've never played the original game, but from what I can gather with a bit of research, is that they've basically taken a lot of the complaints on board and just made it a more balanced game. So you begin the game being dumped into an asylum hospital in the pitch black and completely defenseless. It's actually really creepy. You can hear the groans of monsters close by and these atmospheric noises. The beginning really sets the scene well. You quickly find your greatest ally, which is your torch. Now you can see, but a torch isn't exactly useful for taking out the nasty monsters that lurk around each corner of the hospital. So again, it's not long before you pick up weapons to defend yourself. First you get a security guard's truncheon, before getting increasingly more powerful weapons like handguns, shotguns, and even a sniper rifle. My favourite is the buzzsaw, which I think is a little overpowered, but it really does help you get through some tough times. One of the scary aspects of the game is that when you want to attack, you need to switch out your torch, so you're basically defending yourself in complete darkness, and it's generally quite tense, and you can't see them until the last moment. But I also feel the combat is a little clunky. The hit detection seems a little off at times, which during most of the game is fine, but later on it can be really frustrating. And one of the problems that begins to occur late in the game is that you need to scroll through your weapons using the D-pad, but because you've collected so many, it's not easy going to the one that you want. I found it annoying because I often just wanted to use my buzzsaw, but by the end of the game, it was the furthest away from the torch. Quickly needing to switch between the torch and the buzzsaw was really annoying. You have to go through 4 scrolls each way. It would have been better if there was an inventory system where you could just organize them however you wanted to. There's a decent variety of enemies, not too many, but I think there's enough. They all have their little quirks and they're gradually introduced to you as you progress through the story. Personally, I just like the standard zombies the most. They're the least annoying. And you have these worms, crawlers, and some screeching banshees, which are by far the worst thing due to the aforementioned hit detection. They became so annoying in the last few corridors, even with my buzzsaw. The game controls pretty well. You use the circle pad to walk around, and if you're on the normal 3DS, you can use the Stylus to aim, which due to recording is what you can see right here. It works well, to be honest, but if you have a Circle Pad Pro on hand, or if you have the new 3DS like me, then you can use the extra nub instead. Once I learned that it was compatible, I just didn't look back. It makes it far more comfortable and natural, and that's my recommended way to play the game. As you can see, the game looks nice, atmospheric. The 3D immerses you really well. The 3D is not the one that kind of pops out, it's more the kind that lets you go into the screen, and I really like it. Something you'll begin to notice are the repetitive environments. Although you're continuously moving from place to place, going further and further, you begin to see the same things over and over again, like the layouts and the assets and so on. I know it's set in a hospital, so this is what it would be like. Hospitals have this uniformity, so the game's true to real life, but it doesn't make for an interesting or exciting location after playing for about 4 hours. The game does have some boss battles, which for me are definitely the most difficult part of the game. They're strong, fast, relentless, and it'll take you a few tries before you nail down a strategy to take them out. I felt they varied up the gameplay nicely, although they were a bit cheap at times. One was shooting me through a wall, but they can be beaten. It might sound like I'm complaining a lot, but I do actually like Dementium Remastered. I certainly enjoyed playing through it, but there's just these few flaws I've mentioned that stop me from saying it should be an instant purchase. The game's not long, it has a high price, $15 in America, £13.50 in the UK, which might put people off. But, if you're looking for the original game, that's still around the same price as this, so I think the eShop release is your best option. I enjoyed it, I think you will despite its flaws, and I'm looking forward to Dementium 2 Remastered in the future. Okay guys, if you've enjoyed this video then be sure to like and subscribe to help me out. You can read the full review of Dementium Remastered at whataboutthegame.com, that will really help me out. And you can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter if you feel like it. The links are below. Thanks guys, bye bye.